Welcome to Let's Talk About Relationships, episode 4. I can hear the music in my head. Today I'm going to talk about singleness. Huge topic, something I have a lifetime of knowledge about, because I guess you could say that I've always been single. I've never officially been in a relationship, but I've come close a few times. I've liked a lot of guys, but I'm truly unsure about how many guys have liked me because I've only had one guy tell me. I have been pretty independent for most of my life, and I've had to learn to do a lot of things on my own and not rely on people to make me happy. These are great strengths, but they do have a side of weakness, as I found it difficult to be vulnerable and struggled to develop intimacy with people, even though I've really wanted to. I have generally been okay with being single, but I've definitely had the normal seasons of longing, challenging times where I have felt low about my marital status. I think these stages are normal and not times to rush through or to ignore. However, in the absence of romantic affirmation, I began to ask myself this question: what is wrong with me? I began to compare myself with close friends who were different to me and who had romantic and relational connections that I didn't have. I began to wonder whether I should change things about myself so that I could receive more romantic attention. Should I talk less? Should I be less bold? Should I dye my hair blonde or lose heaps of weight or change my clothes? Should I flirt more and hang out more with guys and maybe draw more attention to myself? I even signed up for the gym once. I know, crazy, right? Because I kind of had this thing in my head that skinnier is prettier. But once I figured out that was my motivation, I got right off the treadmill and went back to being happy old me. All of those questions and comparisons only ended up with me believing a lie that in the end, I was going to be alone and it was going to be my fault. At one point in my life, this was my deepest fear, and it left me crying myself to sleep night after night because I felt helpless, insecure, and scared. I felt very strongly that God, as my good Father, wanted to show me the truth so that that lie didn't have to control me any longer. Once I knew what was wrong, once I recognized the fear that I had, I could work towards starting to change things around. I began to ask for help. I began to share more of what was going on in my heart. I began to cry again and to trust my emotions and learn to not push them to the side. That fear no longer has hold of me. I can truly say that I now believe that there is nothing wrong with me. My relationship status has not changed, but I have changed. I now believe that I am awesome! I have come across some incredibly happy single people in my time, but I have also come across some incredibly disillusioned, frustrated, hopeless, directionless singles as well. I knew a girl once who was always talking about relationships and marriage and what she wanted to do on her wedding day. It was very clear that she only felt she would be complete if she had a mate. She never talked about her personal relational goals and dream and vision. She just wanted to get married and have babies. It's a pretty fabulous dream, one that I share. However, she was the most miserable single person I'd ever met. She had no idea how to live well and be happy in the place that she was in. I have another friend who went on and on about how he was not happy with his life and how he wanted it to change and be better. And yet when you asked him what he was going to do about it, he had no plans to make any changes. It was as if he was thinking that happiness was just going to jump out at him one day and magically his perfect partner would arrive in life and he'd be happy. The entertainment and media industry are making big bucks selling us the lie that together is better. But I'm finding that it's actually more those around me, and truthfully myself sometimes, who are perpetuating the belief that single is bad. Have you ever heard people say this? Why are you still single? This reinforces that there's something wrong with being single that is actually less than being in a relationship. Oh, be happy as single. Marriage and children are so hard. As if they're trying to convince us that things that are hard are just not worth doing. Oh, why don't you try online dating? Like it's fun going on a whole bunch of first dates with strangers who look totally different than their profile picture. Or even worse than that, communicating and paying the fee to do it and then having no one reply. Heaps of fun. Oh, why don't you just put yourself out there? Where is that exactly? A street corner? A coffee shop? I'm not really sure. Don't worry, you'll find someone when you're not looking. So I'm supposed to aspire to be asexual and have no desires, and then magically my perfect partner's going to appear and it's all going to fit together? Really? There are a few things that I found hard about being single. Going home alone, waking up alone, making big decisions on my own, especially financial ones, and feeling disconnected and separated from people who've gotten married or had kids. But there are so many things that I love about being single. Sleeping in. Oh my goodness, so amazing. Being able to travel and go wherever I want, whenever I want. And really being selfish because I literally am only responsible for myself. In his book, The Non-Religious Guide to Being Single, Sean Bowles talks about how we can live outrageously single. I highly recommend the practical truth and the hilarious stories that Sean brings. I definitely recommend you read it. It's challenge time. Your singleness is a gift. Your singleness is not a stage or a waiting place for something better. I want to challenge you to change the way you think, act, and speak about singleness, and especially in your community, how you view single people. You can choose to be incredibly happy and fulfilled, secure in your singleness. You can choose to develop strong, fulfilling relationships that add value and purpose to your life, even before you meet the one. In Sean's book, he has a Being Single identity survey that asks a lot of questions around how you see yourself and how you view your singleness. I found this really, really helpful, and I'm going to post a link to the questions so that you can ask yourself those same questions. My final comment on singleness is that I think singleness is an adventure. It's a time to explore and dream and take risks and do things that you didn't think you could do and tick off things off your list. Doesn't mean you can't do those things when you're married, when you have a family. But I encourage you to make the most of the time that you have. Be it 1 year, 10 years, 30 years, your whole life. Don't waste it pining away for something you don't have. In any stage of life, there will be things yet to be fulfilled, still waiting to come to pass, dreams and hopes that you haven't seen yet. Even when you're married, there's going to be those things. Even when you have family, there's going to be those things. Even when you get the job that you've always wanted, there's going to be things. I think having a successful, happy, and healthy life is learning to be happy even in moments of discontent, even when there are things that you haven't seen come to pass in your life. Why not learn that now? Why not do that now and be happy and fulfilled right where you are? Competition time! I am giving one lucky person this very copy of Sean's amazing book, and all you have to do is go to the Let's Talk About Relationship Facebook page and post a comment talking about your hardest or best thing about being single and tag a friend in that post so they can see it too. Enter by October 21st, 5 p.m. Melbourne, Australia time, and I'll pick a winner. Have fun! I think that's it. I think I'm done.